Today's class is lower body and core focused strength. We are using some props. I'm using a pair of heavy dumbbells, 10 pounds each for me today. You choose what works best for your body. You can always do this class with no dumbbells at all. I'm also choosing to add in a Pilates ball for a little extra balance and core work. And then of course, my optional ankle weights. So get those on if you're using them. We'll grab the ball and just take it in the middle, grab the weights, getting everything situated before we get started today. We'll take the weights just outside of the feet so they're available to us, and we'll hug the ball in between the inner thighs, walking the feet in, growing nice and tall through crown of head. Start to circle the arms over the head as you hinge the bum back, and then allow yourself to fold over the legs, lengthening through the hamstrings, bending through the knees. We roll it up, stacking the spine bone by bone. Okay, we circle, big arm circle, warming up that shoulder joint, and then fold over, lifting the hips towards the ceiling, and then rolling up, trying to find a little more mobility, a little bit more alignment with each repetition. We'll just do 2 more here. Working out any kinks from the day before. Last one. Rolling forward. And then lifting all the way up. Okay, we're bending through the legs to pick up those weights. Meet me at the top, rolling shoulders down and back. You sit the bum down and back into a chair and then lift up and in. Simple squat to start off here. And the ball, if you don't have it, you don't need it. It just really helps with that inner thigh connection and also with alignment. So you want to think hips, knees, ankles, toes, all tracking in one line in parallel. Evenly weighting through both feet, especially on that lift back up, but also as you sit the bum down and back. You can keep the weights at the sides of the body, but you can also always rack them on the shoulders, hold them at the chest, whatever feels more comfortable for you. We'll do a few more here, thinking exhale, lift up through the core, pull in on the ball as you press up through the heels. Engaging the lengths from all angles. Last 2. And 1. On this next one, you'll hold it down for me. Hold and pause, tiny pull in and in. Pull in on the ball using the inner thighs. See if you can connect it to the core, cinching that belt a few notches. Give me 8, a little lower. For 6 and 5, you got this. 4, 3, we come up in 2, and 1, pull up and in. Amazing, dropping those weights down. The ball just comes in between the feet again, and then you'll find your weights. Heel toe the feet out slightly wider than they were before. Rolling the shoulders down and back. Stack that weight on the left shoulder, right hand stays down. Sit back into this wider squat and then lift up through that right heel as you come over the left leg. We sit it down and back. Down and back. So the press up into standing is mostly coming out of that left heel, and you're rolling through the right foot onto the ball of the right foot, finding a little articulation, starting to warm up the ankles. Inhale down and back. Exhale, lift. 3 more. Get a little lower for me. Try to find that center as we come down into that squat. 2 more. We're holding up and standing on this last one. Allow that weight to come to the outside of the right thigh. You lift right leg and lower. We're staying nice and tall over that left leg. Thinking inner thigh pulling up the thigh. And continuing that lift up into the core, crown of head reaching towards the ceiling. Starting to prime the sides of the glutes, sides of the legs for a little more balance here. Okay, you can always drop the weights, hold onto a wall, hold onto a chair, because balance work changes day by day. 2 more. No shifting, just that right leg lifting and lowering. On this last one, you hold it up. Start to circle it back behind you into your curtsy. Slight hinge forward, press up through that front heel. Tap it back side. We lift, curtsy it back. Take it back, stay stacked over that left supporting leg. So most of your weight is in that front heel. As you lower it down, it's like a 75-25 split, and then it's almost all in that foot as you come to standing. Heart rate starts to get up, right? With these heavier weights. No pressure to go at my pace. I want you to go at the pace where you can engage most deeply. Maybe you go faster, maybe you go slower. 2 more here. Sitting nice and low. Maybe you even tap that back knee. Last one. Circle it back. We can rack both weights now. Tiny lift and lower. Lift and lower. You're at a very slight hinge forward. Head and neck in line with the spine. Every time you lift, you feel that press to the front heel, that sink up to the core. It cinches, it releases. Cinch, exhale, release, inhale. For 4, I should have turned that AC on. 3, last 2, and 1. Come all the way up, dropping those weights outside of the feet. We'll circle the arms up and then down by your sides as you articulate down, taking a moment at the bottom here. Maybe you wiggle out the hips side to side. And then when you're ready, we'll bend through the knees, grab onto those weights, come all the way back up. We're sitting the hips down and back. Let's stack that weight on the right side. And then we shift over to the right, left heel lifts. Lower it down and lift. So the weight shift happens as you start to stand, but as you sit it back, can you find that center again? We're not pressing those hips forward ahead of the ribs. You're just thinking, reaching up tall, more than pressing hips forward, up, up, up. 4 more. You got this. Last 3. And 2. You got 1. Holding here. Left leg lifts and lowers. We've shifted it over. Front ribs are pulled in, and we're stacking nice and tall on that right leg. So you should feel the support in the right leg. You might start to feel that glute light up, but you're also going to really be feeling outside of the left leg, glute and thigh working to lift and lower without using any momentum. It's all coming from deep inside that hip. 2 more. Last one, hold it up there. Start to circle it back in space, crossing it back behind you, curtsy, and then we circle it all the way back. It can tap down to meet the mat. Advanced would be to keep it level in the air. No connection there. A little bit more challenging for core and balance, so you can always take that there today. Down and back. Let's go for 4 more here, finding this mobility through the hips, especially that left hip opening up as it circles back and finds a slight internal rotation behind the body. 2 more. Last one. Holding down and back, both weights stack. You lift and you lower. Our last progression here. Again, option to drop those weights if stacking them isn't serving you. You press up through that front heel, connecting it to the core. You've got 6. Sink a little lower for me for 5. Last 4, 3. I know, slow count. You got this, 2. And 1, coming all the way up, stepping those legs wide. We'll drop those weights, sweep the arms up. Big inhale. Exhale, rolling over the legs. And maybe you find that hip wiggle again. When you're ready, we'll roll it up bone by bone. We're going to take one of those weights out of the way for now. You can always keep both, but we're gonna work a little more balance. So keeping one of our heavier weights, picking it up carefully. The ball's going to come underneath the right heel. Toes are in line and legs are about hip distance apart. The weight's going to switch into the right hand, same side leg as the ball. You're just going to press down into that right heel as left heel lifts and then lower back down. It's really small, but you'll notice how the legs start to kind of pedal it out here. And I just want you to find your stance on this ball, find your balance. If it feels like it's not working for you, you can take it out, do the exact same thing. So just testing where you're at today because this one's a challenge. 2 more. Pressing down and lifting up that left heel. Right heel down and then switch. Start to sit the hips down and back. That right heel lowers into the ball and then it lifts. Lower and lift. Every time you press that right heel down and back into the ball, you're going to feel the back of the right leg turn on. You should feel glute, especially where it connects to hamstring, that smile line under the booty. It lights up. It does for 2. You're going to hold that press down in 1. We press up through both feet. Lower down, release that right heel, take it back down, and then lift. So you're coming up out of that squat every time you press that right heel down, lift. Inhale back, lift. Amazing. Try to break this down piece by piece. So find that pause at the bottom, find that lift, that lower. We just have 2 more. We should feel this right leg really turning on now. Front and back. Quad will be feeling it too. Last one, lift, lower, hold. Shift your weight into that right heel. Left leg is free to tap side. Pull it in. Tap and pull. Tap and pull. This is where the shakes start, right? If you want to take that weight into the chest, we can. And we will be taking it there in a moment anyways, so I find I'm a little more centered like that. Keeping the shoulders rolled down and back, and a great reminder to keep chest open. 2. Holding that step out on 1, press up through that right heel out of the ball, and then sink low into that leg. Shaking there, press it up and lower. Don't keep that right heel light on the ball. Press it down, down, down. You won't break the ball, I promise. It rarely happens. Press it down. Do we feel that right glute? Quad. So you're sitting that weight over the right leg. Bum goes down and back and up. 2 more. Wouldn't be me if I didn't make you hold, right? Last one. As if we're not already shaking. Holding down here. Weight goes in both hands. We find a rotation to the right. And then back center. Rotate. And center. Feel the core carry you up and over. Obliques. You've got 5. And back. 4. Keep that weight shifted back. 3. Find that exhale. 2. We're coming up. Last one. 1. And then press all the way up, shaking out that leg. And we'll walk straight on over to the other side. No breaks today. No mercy. If you need to take a break, take it. We're taking that left heel on the ball. You guys know I don't cue a ton of breaks. It's because you know when to take them. Toes line up, feet about hip distance apart. We're going to start with that pedal. Doesn't that feel nice? Pressing that left heel down, right heel lifts. So you can just start with the right heel lifting and lowering, and you'll notice naturally that the left heel wants to lower into the ball as that right heel lifts. Trying to keep the pelvis level as we do so. There might be a little bit of shifting because we are uneven. 3 more. Last 2. Lifting up to crown of head. Last one. Holding it down there, we shift the hips down and back. You don't have to go too deep. Press down into that left heel. Lift, down, and lift. So we're holding in this static squat. Wide back of bum. Back is nice and flat. You're finding that press down through that left heel. Every time you do, I want you to connect to left glute, especially where it meets hamstring. See if you can connect that into the core as well. So much core work, sneaky core work going on here with all of this balance we're doing, especially once we started to get into that weight shifting. 3 more. Last 2. And 1. Hold that press down. Press up through both heels to stand. Lower it back down. Release that heel. Press it back down and lift. Lower, lift, lower, and lift. Okay, this is where we lock in, right? Where we get that focus going. It's just us here working on lower body and core. 3 more. Last 2. And 1. Holding that left heel down into the ball, start to step that right leg side, pull it back in. At this point, I'm gonna start to take that weight to my chest. If you don't already have it there, you can start to shift. Great reminder, chest is equally wide as upper back. Can we smooth that out a bit? Tap, pull in with control. Find that inner thigh, the core. There we go. Pressing that left heel down into the ball. 2 more. Last one, hold that leg side, plant that foot, press up through that left leg, and then sink it back down. Toes are aligned here, so just check on that. Down and back. So you sit over the ball with your weight, and you'll find the shakes increase there because you're having to stabilize through the ankle, knee, and hip, and core as you come over this unstable surface. 3 more. 2 more, and then we're holding for that twist, so prepare. Last one, press up, 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 out of that left heel. And then sink it back down, pause and hold. Find that rotation to the left. And then come back center. I am dripping sweat. You might not be, but I'm in the Bahamas, so it is hot here already for this time of year. And I need to remember to put that AC on, that's for sure. 4 more. Rotate. Pressing that left heel down into the ball, shifting the weight back behind you, getting glute and quad. 2 more. Last one. Big breath. In, and then come all the way up.